Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Pop-Pop.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Jonah.
I'm Brandy.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm. But one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us this morning. Last night into this morning, we received a little over 6/10 of an inch of rain, which has made things pretty sloppy. But our first big job for the morning takes us right out to the fields, and we've got a big crew. We've still got Mike, Brandy, Jonah, and Callie with us today, so we're off to get picking. We've now made it out to the fields and we're gonna be jumping right into doing some picking. We need to grab some Cubanelles and some long hot peppers, but the first thing that we're gonna be grabbing are some beautiful long hots. I got my basket of long hots picked. Mike and Brandy, they're still working on theirs. They're just about finished, but I moved over to the sweet peppers and I'm grabbing some Cubanelle. Now we're only grabbing a few baskets of each individual pepper, and a big reason for that is because all this stuff is going to a local wholesaler. So we have an order that needs to go out within the next few minutes. So we're trying to get everything fresh picked for them, so that way they can have fresh produce to sell. Just about took every pepper off this plant.
Right when I looked at it,
What happened? Your dad threw that pepper to you, and what'd you do? You didn't want it to hit you.
yeah, so I dodged it.
He said he has PTSD, post-tomato stress disorder.
I know we're gonna.
These are the peppers that we got picked right away this morning. 3 baskets of long hots, and we got the 2 Cubanelle ready to go. Before we continue on with today's video, I have to talk to you about today's sponsor, Reolink. Reolink is a leading company in the security camera tech industry, and they provide countless solutions for many different security needs. Whether that's indoors, outdoors, off-grid, whatever you need, Reolink can provide. And what's cool with Reolink is a lot of their stuff can be ran with or without Wi-Fi, which just makes it very, very handy here on the farm. Now, Reolink provided us with the Altus PT Ultra. This thing has been incredible here in the farm market, and there's a few things I really appreciate about it. But one big one is that it has 10 seconds of pre-recording. That means whatever is happening, the camera will actually record 10 seconds before that as well, so you can get a clear picture of what just happened. Another thing that the camera has is 4K colored night mode. Now, I have all the lights off here in the farm market. It's early in the morning. It's a little dark outside, but to this camera, it doesn't seem that way. This camera helps you get every single detail that you need when it matters most. And last but not least, but this camera can actually go 500 days on a single charge. Yeah, you heard that correctly, 500 days. Reolink even offers these portable solar panels, so you could put this thing in place and not have to worry about moving it at all. And one of the last but surely important benefits that we have by using this camera is the actual app that Reolink has. It allows us to check on our camera, it allows us to monitor everything that is taking place, and it even allows us to record video and take pictures. We've been using the camera for so many different things. Not only is it great to have for the security of our farm market, but another other thing it does is it allows us to check on the farm market as we're working out in the fields. If the girls need help with something or it's getting really busy, we can always check the camera and then help out if need be. That's one of the things I've really loved about using it. So again, just a massive thank you to Reolink for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are interested in getting your own Reolink camera, head over to the link in my description. One more time, thanks to Reolink for keeping us safe, and yeah, we're on our way out to do some more picking. Got everything unloaded and into the cooler. Dad has got baskets on the wagon, so we're on our way out to do some more picking. We need to get our pickling cucumbers harvested, so that's where we're off to next. We're finding a few cucumbers here and there, but nothing compared to what we've been finding in recent weeks as we've been harvesting. But that's to be expected. We've been harvesting off these particular plants for about 6 weeks now. Now, 6 weeks may not sound like a lot of time, and I'll agree with you when it comes to the grand scheme of things, but when it comes to the life expectancy of these pickling cucumbers and what we expect to get off them, we're actually very proud. You never know what to expect when you start harvesting off a certain plant, how long it's going to last for. And pickling cucumbers are one of those things where it's very weather dependent. Sometimes the weather will fight you and you'll end up losing a crop earlier than expected. And then you'll have times like what we're dealing with now when you're harvesting for much longer. It's pretty plain to see when you look at the plants. They are definitely on the decline. And a big question people will have is what happened to these plants? And the ultimate answer is they're just getting old. They're getting old and worn out. They've produced a lot of crop. And this is what eventually happens to them. These are a crop that does not last forever, especially here in Northeast Pennsylvania. We basically lose everything to frost at some point. But these plants in particular, they last for about, I'd say, 4 to 8 weeks of picking. 8 weeks is like very extreme. And then you're done with them. So we're about at that 6 to 7 week period. And yeah, I'm ultimately happy with what we've been getting. We'll be picking off them for a little bit longer. We're really just going to be trying to limp the harvest along because our next crop of pickling cucumbers, they're not quite ready yet. As we start getting later and later into the year, our crop is going to be running into a few different problems that it hasn't dealt with up until now. One of the big things that has been changing already, which is kind of shocking, has been the weather. It's starting to get a lot cooler than I'd like it to be. I mean, just this morning when I got up, it was in the 50s. I'd like it a little bit warmer. That's one of the things our plants start to run into. The big challenge is that our nights are getting cooler and cooler. And when the nights get cooler, our ground temperature gets cooler, that slows down our crop. Things aren't growing as fast as they had before. But you know, that's part of farming here in Northeast Pennsylvania. It does get cold. Another problem we face that does not get talked about near as much, and I think it should be, is that we are starting to get less and less hours of sunlight. So when we have less hours of sunlight, that means less growing hours. That means our plants, again, are slowing down. Now don't get me wrong, it's not like it's the end of the world. There's still enough growing hours for our plants to continue growing, but it's something you have to keep in mind as we start getting less and less of a harvest. That's one of the contributing factors. So between the weather changing and the fact that we're getting less sunlight, it has put a damper on things. It's slowed a few crops down. There is one last thing that is beginning to happen here where we live, and it's probably one of the biggest problems that our crops run into, and that problem is going to be disease pressure. Disease is something that you always end up fighting a losing battle and trying to keep it out of your crop. What happens in the Northeast is we get cold enough in wintertime that a lot of the diseases freeze off and die. But as we start getting into the later part of the year, normally our storms will come out of the north. So we have like the swirling mass of air out of Canada, and that brings us our storms. But now as we're getting into like fall time, a lot of our storms come out of the south. So the hurricanes end up following straight up into the East Coast, and we get hit by a lot of the hurricanes. Now, granted, we don't get the heavy winds, you know, the crazy amount of rains, but we get some residuals from that and it ends up bringing disease with it. Now there are certain ways to mitigate disease. We could use certain minerals and things like that. But as I had mentioned before, it starts to become a losing battle, especially with the amount of storms that we get coming out of the south. It's amazing how air masses, when they change, can really affect even a farm all the way up here in the north. But that's something we have to keep in mind, and it's another thing we have to keep in mind so we don't get frustrated. Because you can get some disease in a crop and you'll wonder, where in the world did this come from? But anyway, one of the reasons why I'm talking about all this stuff is because we've had a few local gardeners here expressing some issues they've had. And as a farming family where we do quite a few acres of vegetables, it's important to mention that, yeah, we run into the same problem. Now for a home gardener, it may be a little more difficult to manage with it because you have less of a crop. You know, it's a little more frustrating when you lose it. But yeah, we run into the same issues, so it's okay. It's okay. You're not a bad gardener. You know, this stuff happens. Oh, Jonah, look, twins.
Oh, are you just holding two?
No, it's here, look. This happens sometimes with the crop. Look.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
You know, when my wife and I found out we were gonna have twins, I found like 20 of these that year.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's pretty neat. We're getting the last of the pickling cucumbers now put into baskets. You can see we don't have that many laying along the end of the row. It just gives you more of an idea of how slow this harvest is. But something to keep in mind, the stuff that we had planted or seeded later on, it's looking really good. Look at this zucchini. Now, I'm not seeing too many baby zucchinis in here just yet, but I'm seeing a lot of female and male blossoms. Look at this. There's two little ones. And then all these male blossoms in here. That is a really, really good sign. Our next planting of pickling cucumbers, it's not ready yet, but it is starting to blossom. So in the next coming weeks, we are gonna start picking off of that one, which I'll be excited about. It'll be nice to move into some new plants. While we were harvesting some pickling cucumbers, Mike and Brandy were over here grabbing the red hot cherry peppers. They're doing pretty good. You guys are like professionals. Wow, look at this. And Jonah was running around and he found this watermelon. And he's like a professional watermelon picker now. I think his favorite thing is to find watermelons and pick them. I mean, it's exciting. Open them up, seeing that red. Woo-wee. You think it's gonna be ripe?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I think so.
You think so?
I think it's gonna be red.
Let's see. Oh yeah. You're like a professional at this, Jonah. You know that.
Let's go. Yes!
Wow.
Ooh. I don't want the black seeds.
Okay, I won't give you any black seeds, Kelly. There you go, buddy.
I want the whole clear piece.
Here you go, baby. This kid might have a talent for picking watermelon. So juicy. We're having a little bit of a watermelon break. You can see everybody is enjoying the watermelon that Jonah picked. This thing is spectacular. This is the best part about working out here. Nobody knows we're having a great snack right now. They'd be very jealous. We've moved to a different field. We're now going to be grabbing some peppers. We need some purple peppers, some white bell, and some more cubanelle. And I think I found the perfect spot to get started with cubanelle again. This plant fell over. Too many peppers on it. My goodness, I moved over one row. We haven't been able to go through this section yet. Look at the peppers over here. And the peppers are so big, the plants are snapping and falling over. Look at this, this broke off before I got here, and it's just loaded with peppers. When you go to a Mexican restaurant and they have a burrito that is the size of a newborn baby, that's just like, it like calls me directly. Are you out there? Oh, like for Frozen? I'm like Elsa. Just looking for burritos.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Some look for trouble.
Wow,
That's trouble right there. A big burrito. Holy.
How many did you have? Like 6?
Good for now. I just know there's none. Andrew, look at the peppers on this plant.
Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then some smaller ones. Look at the size of them though. These are all ready to be picked. Oh, there's an 8. There's 8. There's one hiding back there. There you go. That's off of one plant. Unbelievable. Well, it's obvious to see we've moved locations again. We need to harvest some bell peppers, and if that plant's any indication, it's not going to be that hard to find some. Ooh, I'm losing my peppers. This basket was filled off of just 6 plants. Wow. Look at this. I'm so excited about this. We had okay peppers last year, but nothing compared to what we've got this year. And I wish you guys could feel how heavy these are. These peppers are heavy. We just got our wagon filled up. We were able to grab some of the green bell. We got our Cubano. We have these beautiful purple bell. Oh, the funny thing about these, the variety name is called tequila. I like these. These purple bell, and then these red hot cherry, these orange. What a beautiful wagon. You can't ask for much better than that. Beautiful day, beautiful crop. And it's been fun having some friends up here from Florida. They've really enjoyed it. This is a great place to be this time of the year. Picking like this, eating all these fresh fruits and veggies. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Our wagon is full, but Matthew ran back to the farm and he grabbed some baskets so that we could start picking plum tomatoes. Now, I've already gone through and picked the plum tomatoes a few times, so we're not expecting to find only ripe ones, but we are going to be taking all the pinks that we see.
Plum tomatoes, and I'm picking the orange and yellow.
The second you see the color on the outside, it's already ripening from the inside. So it'll continue to ripen. So if you see color, you're good to go. This is a lot of times when they harvest vine ripened tomatoes. This is what they look like when they're picked.
Is it true that like if they ripen on the vine though?
So this is ripened on the vine. There's a difference because they can pick them green and then they can take trucks and they can gas them with that ethylene gas. And that's why a lot of tomatoes that you get sometimes don't have a good flavor. But when they start to ripen on the vine themselves, they have that flavor already like locked in. You'll notice from the tomatoes that we're harvesting, there's not too many red tomatoes. And a big reason for that is because we've already gone through here and picked a few times. Now we're going through and just grabbing whatever pinks and orange ones that we can find. Again, we're gonna do that tried and true method. We're gonna let them ripen up together. And we expect by next week, these will be ready to go for anybody that wants to start canning tomatoes.
The other issue with winter tomatoes is they get less sunlight in the winter, so there's less.
You haven't been stung by a bee in forever, huh?
No, not me. I got stung in the forehead one time.
And
I looked like the Elephant Man, like it was so bad.
Hey guys, Sadie still has the baby. She has not given birth yet, but we're getting closer and closer, right, Daniel?
Yep.
Yep. She's, with all due respect, I'm saying this with all respect, and Sadie knows, she's a large woman right now. But that's because she's got that baby. She is ready to have that baby. She looks beautiful. But I'm telling you, she's tired of having that baby too. She been carrying that thing around. Starts to get heavy after a while. But yeah, Sadie, she's doing really well. She's healthy. Been at the doctor. She's doing good. That baby is coming any day now. Any day, and we are all excited.
Dan, what are we gonna do next? Yeah, next week we'll have it. For sure. Yeah. So, 9 months.
While we're harvesting plum tomatoes, I'll tell you about the 2 varieties that we have here. We have a variety called Shelby and a variety called Mariana. Now they are both determinate tomatoes. That means they put all their produce on at one time.
they all ripen together. There are certain areas where you don't want to be growing determinate. However, because of where we live, the risks of disease, and just the sheer amount of tomatoes that we need, determinate is something we've always raised. So the tomatoes I'm picking right now, these are the Mariana. They're a little bit larger. I'd say for plum tomatoes, they can get pretty big. And look at these ones I'm picking right here. But the for other variety that we have, Shelby, they don't get as large, but boy does it produce tomatoes. The biggest reason why we're raising two different varieties is because we want them to ripen at different times. We want our one variety to be ripened up and for us to just about be done harvesting it, and then for the next variety to be following suit. So that's why we raise two different varieties. We do the same for the round tomatoes, and it's always worked very well for us. We've done the same thing with sweet corn, beans, but you know, tomatoes is also something that we do it with, and it's always paid off. One of the nicest things about these tomatoes is that they produce very well. The ones we're picking right now, the Mariana, I think these are what I used for my sauce last year. So Matthew and I ended up doing tomato sauce with these. We got what, 76 jars? 76 pints, yeah. So we ended up splitting it even. We gave a few away to some friends and family, but it's a lot of sauce. I'm probably gonna need to do some more this year, and I think Daniel and I are making sauce together. Thankfully, I have plenty of tomatoes to make sauce. Yeah. We just got the call that it's lunchtime, and while we've been out here picking tomatoes, we got a decent amount of progress made. We've been picking through the entire field, and I think we've just about made our first entire pick through. There's a lot of nice tomatoes. The number one thing to keep in mind is once we make it to the end though, is we gotta start all the way back at the beginning, because those tomatoes will begin to ripen up. One thing I will say is you can't ask for a much better day to do some harvesting. Oh, it is lunchtime on the farm. Let's see what we're having. Oh, it looks like we've got sandwich. Is that spinach artichoke dip?
Yep.
And then what kind of cake is this?
Banana.
Grammy, look at me. I'm trying to lose weight.
Oh, well, don't eat it.
Oh yeah, because that's so easy.
There may be nothing prettier than a full wagon of colored peppers, just because of all the different colors, and especially after they're washed, because then they're all shined up. Dad and I just got that all washed from what we picked this morning. So now we are going to bring that up and get it brought into the farm market so we can put it out to sell. Well, it may look like we never left the potato storage and the washroom, but actually we went and got a whole wagon of tomatoes. We have a bunch of orders for plum tomatoes this weekend, and we need to get these round tomatoes sorted out because we need some for the farm market, some nice ones to take up there, as well as some more canning tomatoes for up there as well.
Well, everyone, I am now home. It is much later than when we finished the workday. We ended up going over to Aunt Megan's and Uncle Joel's. We had a nice time, made some burgers, made some dogs. It was a yummy time. Yeah, Callie was having a little bit of a rough time today. I think allergies were getting to her. The ragweed maybe, I don't know, whatever the case. She did not feel too well. So I had brought her home and then, yeah, worked at the farm market a little bit. It was a good day. It was a good day, but now the day is over. I'm tired, and I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.